Auto Obsessed here. In this video, we'll show you how to modify the IK eFoam Pro 2 foaming sprayer to also work as a multi-sprayer. At the time of making this video, IK has not announced any plans to release an eMulti-Pro version or kits to convert the eFoam Pro 2 foaming sprayer into a non-foaming sprayer. However, through our testing, we discovered some straightforward modifications that allow the eFoam Pro 2 to function as a non-foaming sprayer, and we're excited to share our findings with you. We found 3 effective methods to achieve this. 1, swapping the heads with a Multi-Pro 2. 2, switching parts from a Multi-Pro 2 to the Foam Pro 2. And 3, a permanent conversion and having 2 heads to accommodate both functions. We'll discuss each of the ways now, but as always, there's a disclaimer. IK has not officially announced modifications, so doing so is at your own risk and may void the warranty. Okay, so now that that is out of the way, let's dig in. So first method, one would think that simply swapping the head from the Multi-Pro into the Foam Pro would be the way to go. Unfortunately, the way the two are designed, they're designed slightly different. So the Multi-Pro 2 has a different relief pressure than what the Foam Pro 2 has. And because the eFoam Pro 2 has a built-in compressor, that's been calibrated to match this head. I'll demonstrate what the result is. So what we'll do is just take off the eFoam Pro 2 head and take a Multi-Pro head, swap it onto the body. Okay, so tighten it up. Okay, so now we'll turn on the unit. So we'll just simply power the unit on. Unit's powered on. I'll turn on the compressor. So now what happens here is, because the two are calibrated differently, this has a lower pressure than what it's calibrated for. So now the compressor's not going to stop. So there is a workaround. We would have to actually turn off the compressor and use it and then turn the back on when we need to build pressure again. So this is not the best way and it's not recommended. So because the two pressure relief valves are set differently for the Foam Pro 2 and the Multi-Pro 2, essentially the easiest thing to do is actually just change the parts over. So that way we have the head that's calibrated properly. So all we have to do is just, on the Foam Pro 2, we just have to change a couple parts. So one, we're just going to take off the foaming tip. Okay, we're going to replace that with the Multi-Pro tip. And then inside the pickup tube, it has this foaming valve. Okay, so we just take off the foaming valve and just replace it. And now we've converted it over to be a Multi-Pro, and then we're just going to put it on the Foam Pro 2 body with the compressor. So now when we turn it on, I won't do it because this demonstration I don't have the liquid in it, but when we turn it on, the pressures match now, so it will function properly. One of the downsides to this is each time you use it, you're going to be changing over the parts back and forth between the units. So maybe in some cases that's fine. You want to use the two separately at times, or sometimes you want to use that. So whatever method is best for your preference. And the third way, which I think is the best method, and again, you're going to have to kind of pick what's going to work for you, is to take a second Foam Pro 2 unit. You get the Multi-Pro tip kit, and what we do now is we just create a permanent Multi-Pro 2 converted onto the Foam Pro 2. So that way we can just swap the heads. So essentially we take the Multi-Pro 2 tip from the kit, we take off the Foam Pro 2 tip. Okay, and inside the unit, we can still use the same pickup tube, and all we have to do is just remove the foam mixer and just put that back in. So now what I have is I have a modified Foam Pro 2 unit that has the multi-parts on it, and I can now just simply change the heads. So this will be helpful on cleaning, for example. So now if I'm switching between the two, if I'm switching from the multi to the foam, vice versa, I don't necessarily have to do all the work and clean everything out and do all the changing. I just simply have to dump the chemicals out and then rinse this out. So now what we can do with the multi, we can spray chemicals that are non-foaming. We can spray some water-based degreasers, maybe to clean the engine bay. You can do waterless washes. You can do quick detailers if you wanted to. You can do any sort of chemicals you're using in detailing that you don't want the foaming version and you want just the spray version. Important notes: always rinse out chemicals fully and flush the unit with clean water. Remove any leftover chemicals. eFoamer is also not intended to be a 360 unit, so avoid using a 360 hose assembly. This will prevent liquids from entering the compressor area and causing damage. It wasn't intended to be a 360 unit. Lastly, when converting to a Multi Pro 2 sprayer, runtimes actually increase to around 60 minutes because less pressure is needed with the Multi Pro compared to the Foam Pro 2. The Foam Pro 2 runs at about 20 minutes, so 60 minutes if we're using the sprayer and approximately 20 minutes if we're using the foamer. Conclusion and final thoughts: converting the new IK eFoam Pro 2 foaming sprayer to a sprayer is relatively easy and can be a valuable tool for various car detailing tasks. Also, for an in-depth look at the IK eFoam Pro 2, check out our previous video. The link's in the description below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more reviews and detailing tips. If you want to get your hands on the IK eFoam Pro 2, the IK Multi Pro 2, or parts kits, visit us in-store or online at autoobsessed.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Happy detailing.